Hey there everybody, outside on the trail, and today just running my weekend 5K. And you know, I got to thinking, I trust that my iWatch, Apple Watch, is going to be accurate when it comes to GPS data, but I've never really compared it to anything. So today I'm comparing my iWatch to my Garmin to see just how accurate they are, because I would assume the Garmin would be the industry standard when it comes to running and tracking distance and calories. Stick around, let's find out. Hey, well, like the introduction said, today we're going to look at some of the similarities and maybe some of the differences between the Apple SE Apple Watch and the Garmin Vivo Active 3. Hey everybody, I'm Mike, this is Low Def Media, and today we are back in the office. The intro, I was out there on the trail running a little bit, but you know, when you run, you want your data to be, you know, accurate. And I don't do a ton of running, but when I do, I want to know that the heart rate and the GPS data and the distance and all that stuff, that I'm getting the proper information. Now, you would think that the Garmin, which is predominantly designed for people who run or do activities similar to running, whether it's biking, swimming, whatever. And the Apple Watch does a myriad of things. So let's do a little history. I got the Garmin about 4 years ago. And again, I'm not an adventure sports kind of guy, but I wanted a watch that was going to do a number of things. That was going to provide specifically run data, because at the time I was doing a lot more running than I'm doing now, but also a watch that would connect to my phone and provide, you know, like notifications, phone calls, texts, emails, things like that. And this watch did all that. It's a great watch. Even has a wallet feature in there, so you can do kind of like Google Pay or Apple Pay, and you can use your watch to pay for stuff. So from that perspective, a really great watch. I mean, I've got it right here. So this is the Vivo, and so it is a stellar watch. But what I found is that I got more entrenched in the Apple ecosystem. You know, you get the iPhone, you get the iPad, you get the MacBook, then you get the Mac Mini desktop. And so you just get to the point where you're fully entrenched in the ecosystem. It just made sense to transition my watch to the same thing. But I think you and I would agree that Apple isn't primarily designed to give you data for your activities, running, biking, swimming, whatever, hiking. That's not its primary function. So all I wanted to do was I wanted to compare it to what I consider to be more of the industry standard when it comes to fitness data points, and that's my Garmin. So today, while I was out on my run, you saw it, I had one watch on each arm, and I just collected the data. And it's interesting. And to show you some of the similarities and the differences, we're going to go a little old school, and we're going to go out to the whiteboard. Follow me. All right, so here we are. We are out in the gym/garage, and I've got my whiteboard set up. There we go. And let's see, I'm going to have to sit this back maybe just a little bit. There we go, so you can see the very top. All right, I think that's good. You can see up here that I've got Apple and Garmin listed. And again, I don't do this for a living, so we'll see how this goes, but I had to do something to articulate. Let's do this, and I'm going to put there we go, the focus point right there on that. So we've got 4 different categories. We've got distance, calories, pace, and heart rate. So the distance, well, both of them got that right. It was 3 miles. Garmin did 301 miles. And that was probably just because it took me a second to turn one off as opposed to the other, but 0.01 miles, that might be, you know, I don't know how many feet that is, but I mean, that could potentially be an issue for some people. I think the Garmin is probably going to be more accurate than the Apple Watch, but both of them supposedly use GPS. So what about calories? This is where I think the biggest difference came. The Apple says that I had 301 and then 361. So I had 301 and 361. They broke the calories down, 301 active calories, 361 total calories. Now, I don't know if you're running, sustained running, I don't know what the difference is between an active calorie and a regular calorie or total calories, because I was running the whole time, 3 miles. Now, as for the Garmin, it said 359 calories. So it's closer to the 361 total. So again, I have to question what Apple's saying as far as active calories. Now, pace. Now, okay, full disclosure, I don't run a whole bunch, so this is probably stupid slow, but hey, we all gotta be somewhere, right? So heart rate or pace. 1227 for the Apple. 1232 for the Garmin. So again, pretty accurate, pretty similar, but I would say that if you're a serious runner, seconds matter. And so that might be something that causes you concern. If the Apple's saying you're faster, then maybe you potentially really are. All right, heart rate. Well, let's see. Heart rate, I'm going to have to... I kind of got ahead of myself, and so we're just going to flip these things around. So heart rate was 159, and then 153. Now, the interesting part is that Garmin also gives you a max heart rate. All right, now I didn't write that down for my watch, but I also did just because this uses GPS data, the distance and all that. So I did an indoor bike when I got home, and it's a stationary bike, and these are the numbers that I got. So on the stationary bike, the calories, again, 141 active, 165 total. So for the bike, again, we've got this split calories, 141 active, 165 total. So let's see what the Garmin says. Garmin said 134. So 134 calories compared to what the Apple Watch is saying. Now that to me is enough of a difference to question the validity of the numbers. So what about heart rate? The Apple, 143 beats per minute average. The Garmin, 131, and it gives you 157 max. Now, I looked on the data for my Apple Watch, and it gave me a range. It said during the course of your workout, your heart rate did this, and it goes up and down, right? Up and down. But it never gives you an exact total for the max heart rate. So you don't get that here, and you don't get it here. And so I would say that if you're a serious runner or a serious, if you take your exercising more seriously than I do, and you really pay attention to these numbers, well then your max heart rate is something you really, really, really want to understand. Let's head back into the office. All right, so hey, we are back in the office now, and I know that was probably not what you're used to when it comes to watching YouTube content. You know, people do slick graphics and all that, but I'm older, I don't do this for a living, and so I like the old school method, and hopefully you got what I was trying to say. Okay, so enough of the whiteboard. So it looks like there are enough similarities between the Apple Watch and the Garmin watch that you can say, okay, they're similar. But then there are some very specific differences where you can say that one is probably doing a better job than the other at giving you accurate data. I would say that if you're using your Apple Watch for all of your activity data, that is not what that watch is designed to do. The Apple Watch is designed to partner with your phone and the Apple ecosystem to do so many other things that this exercise data is just an additional thing that it does. It's not its primary focus. Where with a Garmin watch, that is its primary focus. Garmin has been making, GPS stuff, devices for years. And so I would trust that data way more than I would trust the Apple Watch. That's not to say the Apple Watch is bad, but if you're serious about your workouts, you probably want to get that from a different source. And I know that in certain arenas, a lot of fitness enthusiasts use what's called a Whoop strap. And so the Whoop strap, that's its primary focus, is to monitor all of these different data points when it comes to strain, heart rate, recovery, sleeping, all that stuff. So again, if you're really serious about your workouts, then you probably need a different device other than your Apple Watch to provide you with that data. But hey everybody, we've gone on long enough about this. I am Mike. This is Low Def Media. And as always, thank you so much for taking the time. And if this is the kind of stuff that you like, hey, I'd appreciate it. Become a subscriber. And if you like this episode, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Make sure to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought or maybe what you didn't like. And help me improve my channel. And hopefully we will see you in the next one.